If you've been hesitating to work with a career coach, like myself, because of the cost, just understand clearly that avoiding investment doesn't protect you. It just preserves your current ceiling, the ceiling that's filled with fluorescent lighting because you still work in an office hybrid 3 days a week or more. I am a career coach that helps my clients land six-figure, 100% remote paying jobs. Being able to work abroad while still earning a dignified wage and having that location and financial freedom, it requires leverage, and getting that leverage is a different skill set that I can teach to you. It's different than getting a degree, it's different than a certification, it's a different skill set. So the purpose of this video, I'm just looking at my notes right now, is that if you're currently not living life the way that you want to, you don't have the location freedom, you don't have the time freedom, you can't live and work abroad, it's most likely because money debt is the least of your problems, which you may think that's preventing you from working with a career coach. It's most likely talent debt that you have. So in this video, we'll be talking about what talent debt is and how to overcome that. I have like the full definition of what talent debt is over here, but I'm just going to give you the Reader's Digest version. So what talent debt is just skill stagnation. The market moves without you. You're kind of falling behind with your skills. You're easily replaceable. The skills that you do know are obsolete. And how this tangibly shows up in your job search is that you don't get interviews at all. Your applications go into the abyss. If you've ever heard someone, this might be yourself, saying, I've applied to 100, 500, 1,000 jobs and I haven't heard back. If you do something for 100, 500, 1,000 times and you're getting the same result, that's a blaring, bleeding red flag that something is wrong. So it shows up in you not getting interviews. If you do get past the first round, you don't make it to the offer letter stage because when they're asking you behavioral type of questions or even case study type of questions that are more pointed or behavior that's more general, you don't have anything of note to say because they're asking you questions that are kind of like beyond your skill set. You don't add anything, any zest that they're looking for. This is an issue because of course, you're not getting the results that you want. You're not able to change jobs if you want. You're not able to get a higher paying job, a remote job, maybe both at the same time. And I'm here to say that it's not a problem to recognize that you have a skill gap. That's not the problem. The problem is remaining in that skill gap and not getting help for it, not seeking out help. What this means in the long term is that there is a delay. Every single month that you go by without addressing this talent debt, without addressing this skill gap, is another month with you still commuting into the office, with you still having to be in the office, with you not earning as much as you want to make, with you just being stagnant in your career. Each month that you don't address the skill gap is a mounting worry that you could be replaced by AI, by an offshore worker. How remote work ties into this is that so many companies are forcing their employees back into the office. This has been happening for years now. And it's the companies that are 100% remote, that encourage a remote first environment, they're the ones that can be super picky with who they hire because they know they have what so many people want. So why would they choose someone with a skill gap? That's the thing. A lot of these companies are forcing their employees back into the office because they know they can, because they know that their employees could not find a better paying job. So it's like that golden handcuff situation. Because I'm a personal finance and career coach for professionals who want to become digital nomads, of course, remote work is the first main part of the equation. And the fact of the matter is that remote jobs are more scarce, of course. They're way more competitive. So having a skill gap just won't do. You won't get very far with a skill gap. You have to think of yourself like a business. Think of yourself like a startup business. They're not profitable for many years. And even if they aren't profitable, they're still showing growth, they're still investing in themselves. Imagine Uber back in the day. It's not gonna be profitable on day one because they need to hire people to code the app. They need to hire lawyers to make sure that the act of exchanging money for transportation on a gig worker basis is legally sound and protect the company from risk. They need to hire marketing so people know what Uber is. They need to invest in so many of these things. But you as a person, you as a professional, why are you not having that same type of mindset for yourself, for your own career? A lot of people, they want to work with me. They see the value of having a career coach, having someone to help them navigate these skill gaps, to help differentiate themselves from the competition. So that way, either they get recruiters reaching out to them to interview for jobs that other people had to apply to, or when they do apply to a job, how they get a call back versus the hundreds of other people that apply for that same role. They understand why working with a career coach would be beneficial to their career. But a sticking point is the cost. And they're like, well, what do I do about the cost? Well, Scared money don't make money. Just like you got student loans when you went to college to get a degree, you joined a coding boot camp, you got a certification. Yes, things of value cost money because it's not, and consider it less of like a cost, like something frivolous that's not going to add value to your life the minute that you're done using it. This is a skill set you'll have for the rest of your life, the rest of your career. This is an investment in yourself. Uber would not be the company that it is today if they did not invest. Even when they didn't have the money up front, they had people back their startup. They had to get that money to hire a coder first. They had to hire a legal team first. They had to hire a marketer first. And then they're able to see returns on that. Sometimes you have to do things what may seem out of order, but it's just the order that has to be done, because if you don't take that risk to invest in yourself, you will take on the risk of remaining in your same situation. So here's what eliminating talent debt looks like. Like, why I work with a career coach. You're talking about all this, Christina, but what can you actually do to help me in this situation, since it's a good idea for me to invest in your services anyway? What I help you do, and what a career coach would, you don't have to work with me, what any career coach will help you do is help you position yourself in a career. So let's say you're an engineer. What differentiates you from all the other engineers in your same cohort when you graduated? What differentiates you from everyone in the state, everyone in the country that says that they're an engineer? Like, what industry is like do you have a niche? How are you different? How are you irreplaceable? That is a completely different skill set than what you probably went to school or to a coding boot camp for. You went to school to learn how to code. That's like your job. That's a skill set. That's something that says, I have the ability to do this skill. But being able to differentiate yourself from everyone else that has that exact same skill as you is a skill that a career coach can give you, and that will help address that talent debt. Talent debt also keeps in mind what employers are looking for. So yes, a company may want someone that can code something, but let's say they want someone with specific healthcare experience with wearables. You see how that's a lot more specific than, oh, we just need someone that can code something. No, we need a coder that has industry experience with healthcare and is familiar working with wearables. Finding that person is going to be a lot more difficult, and when they do find that person, they're going to treasure them a lot more than someone who's more general that can be replaced by application number 677. That's a skill that a career coach can teach you. Also, I'll go down my list here. Strategic job targeting. I think I was saying an example before about people that apply to 100, 500, thousands of jobs and don't hear anything back. Why would you waste your time like that? A career coach would help you save so much time. When I work with my clients and I see what jobs that they start to eye a little bit, and I have them dive deep into that, like, okay, why did this job attract you so much that you want to apply to it? It doesn't check off the things that you need. It says that it's hybrid. You said you want remote. And even if you think that you're going to negotiate them to be remote, it's probably not the case. So why would you waste your time doing that? Or, oh, this job wants someone with experience in XYZ. You have experience ABC. This is going to waste your time. If you're by yourself, you're doing it the hard way when there's an easy, more accelerated way right here. Also, negotiation leverage. Even in this economy, yes, if you have a skill set, you deserve to be properly compensated for that. So even in bad economies, you can still negotiate. How to interview better, so that way you're not just answering questions, like you're getting to the root of what the interviewer wants to hear and what they need. For example, if I were looking for someone to do braids, and my concern was, oh my God, the last time I got like knotless braids, it took out my edges. So I'm really looking forward to someone that really cares about preserving the health of the person's hair underneath the braids, or within the braids. If I go and I'm talking to different braiders on Instagram, and one person's hair slayed by Kiki, and she's like using a bunch of gel and the person's edges look snatched, but she's saying, yeah, I can braid, I'm a braider, like, when do you want to make an appointment? That's a different experience, because this is like an interview situation in real life, versus if I'm talking to someone on IG and they're like, yeah, I really take measures to protect the hair. I ask the client how much hair they want left out for a leave out. I make sure to make the braids smaller so that they're less heavy. I don't braid too tight around that area. I use this type of serum when I'm braiding this area to help preserve the edges. I'm going to take that second option, Fleeked Out by Felicia braids. I'm going to take that a lot more seriously than the first person. Yes, they can both do a job. If I just wanted some knotless braids, I can go to either of these options. But I want to go to the person that's more comprehensive, more thorough, and they understood the root of what I want. Like, yes, I want braids in this example, but I also want to have my hair still be here when I take the braids out in 6 weeks. So that's the type of interviewing skills that I teach my clients. And lastly is competitive differentiation. Like I was saying before, it's like the whole root of how to navigate the job market in any economy. You have to be different. You have to be unique. You have to be irreplaceable. That's how you're able to ask for things that are kind of out of this world. Like, I want to be remote and I want to make 6 figures. Okay, like, I want to mention a yacht. What are you going to do to earn that? So you have to be like, I have this skill set that you can't find anywhere else. So you're better off just giving me what I want, so that way I can give you what you want. So let me go to the conclusion. I understand that, in families, it's not normal. People have someone that can do their hair, even though they're able to do their hair themselves. They have someone to go get a facial, even though they can wash their face themselves. People have personal trainers, even though they can go on YouTube and find a workout. They can go find a workout split on Google. But it's nice to have that bespoke experience. It's nice to have someone that's committed to your journey, either like your hair growth journey, your skincare journey, your fitness journey. But when it comes to getting a career coach for your professional and career journey, especially if that journey involves you wanting to be able to do that work while abroad, it's a little bit weird. A lot of people think that working with a career coach is cheating, is taking the easy way out, or is just a scam. But it's not that. It teaches you a different skill set. We went to grade school so we can get into a good college, so we can get into a good master's or MD or professional degree program, so that way we can get a good job. That taught us a skill set, like a trade, for example. Even if yours was not like a trade, but you get what I'm saying. We learned that trade, but now it's a different trade that we have to learn, which doesn't come innate to a lot of people. Like, I can't comb my own hair. So I'm just gonna go pay someone else to do it. So just like career coaching, if you don't inherently have that skill, which you would know if you're not able to get the jobs that you want when you want them, no matter the economy. If you don't have that skill inherently, there's no shame in that. Just hire it out to someone that can help you get to where you need to go. So to end this, I know I was talking a little bit at the beginning about cost being a factor, but at the end of the day, scared money waits. You're not going to improve your situation magically by trying to do it yourself, because you've been doing it hundreds of applications ago, even years ago. I talked to people that have been trying to find a remote job for 12 to 18 months. That is too long to be waiting out on the life of your dreams. My work teaches you the skill set to land those competitive 100% remote 6-figure jobs, even in an environment where many companies are forcing their employees back into the office. Even in an environment where many employers are doing layoffs. How does someone still stay competitive? How do people still have interviews lined up soon after an event like that happens? If you're ready to remove that ceiling and that blockage that you have with investing in yourself, especially when it comes to your career, instead of pretending that it's not there, instead of rationalizing it away, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for professionals that want to move into the next stage of their career, not just doing work, but doing work on their terms, having that financial and location freedom. There are 2 ways to work with me. I do have an online course with 3 levels of support, or I also have one-on-one coaching spots available. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.